What happened?
Nothing.
So
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I was trying to tease them. I was trying to tease them. I was simply trying to tease them because we got people coming through, coming through, coming. Hello, guys.
hello,
Hi.
hello, hello. It's
What's
another
going on?
week.
Let me put on my thing is like cutting in. It's not even on here.
Another
You guys hear me,
Tuesday
right?
already. Yes, we're hearing you.
Yeah,
I,
We are.
wow, are you looking so bright tonight?
Thank you.
colors of the sun.
Stelling
A
her
little fierce.
like girl, you be glowing.
Well,
She's trying to get some mans up in this place.
I'm trying.
On
Like,
them.
what it do?
Wait, when I do that, am I going left or right?
I was having the same question as I'm thinking on my right side, but it's really on my
Good
left side.
question. You're trying to make sure. You know what she
You on
let me
your
see
right
though?
side?
She's like, this is my mirror.
Is
I'm
that
gonna
the
make sure.
right side?
I love it. I love it. I know because you're trying to make sure your updo is like center.
My
And
God, I need to look censor, but which side?
girl, you're too much. You're too much. She's like, am I going left? Am I going right? Guys, welcome to another excited episode of Two Cents. I swear it was just yesterday we were here,
What is
and
going on
we're
with time?
back. This is her mirror, okay? This is she getting ready. She getting ready. She getting
Are
ready
you with
right
us?
on
Are you
the
with us
show.
right now? This is
Somebody,
who get ready with me
somebody's like,
moment.
that's telling her. Yes, it's telling her girl, is so extra. That's what somebody said to me. On the I'm like, yes, she extra. That's why her name's Stellina Blue. Okay, she
Guys.
extra. She extra. We trying to get we out here trying to get like branded sponsorship from like color. Like we're looking at
Exactly.
like big companies like where the L'Oreal's at. Well, let's think about Caribbean. Where the Sasha's at.
Where the
Hello,
fancy is at?
where the
Come on,
Fenty's at.
Caribbean.
Hello, Riri, check us.
Hello?
Hi.
Guys, we have about 60 people all logged in right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're hoping that we can make it up to 300. Let's see 400, 500. We're going to 1,000 tonight. Let's see. We
Get
got a
into the
packed
universe.
show. We got a packed show here for y'all this evening. I'm so excited to be back here with you. We're going to be talking about all things. Guys, how was your week? First of all, let's do a little health and wellness check. How was everybody? How was everybody's week?
You don't hear about my week.
Well,
You
health
don't
and
want to hear.
wellness.
Only God. What did I do? Sorrows and prayers all week? Just sorrows and prayers.
SARS and
Sorrows and prayers.
Mm.
But it wasn't bad. It could be worse. Like there are some people who have had worse weeks than we had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Could have been worse. Was a good week. Let's
I'm
just
just grateful for life. I'm grateful for life. It
yeah.
is still hot, and I think it's going to get hotter. It is so hot. Like
I'm just
I
waiting for them to invent those air conditioned bubbles that we can all just walk around in because I don't understand. This heat is unbearable. It's ridiculous.
Did you
it
guys
is
see
really,
what's
really
going on in
in Canada.
Puerto Rico with the heat?
What's going on in Puerto Rico?
Canada's been having fires. Puerto Rico's
Yeah, and that's like
heat.
spilled over into the states. I have a friend in New Jersey said she was actually getting the worst of it at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot
it's
of
like really
fog
spreading.
and a
Yeah.
lot of stuff is going
The
on
sky's
around the
orange.
world.
But
Yeah,
climate change isn't real.
tell
I
us, guys. Those
know.
of you on the live, tell us how was your week. Hope you guys had an awesome week. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us. I want to just shout out the faithful ones. We've been having like a
Big
lot of
one.
people saying, all you passing our comments straight, like all you didn't read about my comments. Let me tell you, we're gonna read comments, okay? We're gonna read comments, but what I do is I pull them as I see them.
Mhm,
It's kind of difficult to
mhm.
sort through all the comments, but we'll happily give us stars and we'll put your comments at the top of the line. How about that? Right? You give us stars and your comment automatically goes because obviously we're gonna see it because it's starred, right? We're gonna see it, right? So you can leave your comments and we take it as we go. We apologize for any inconvenience caused to consumers in advance, but we take them as they come.
As they
And
come.
if you give us stars, we're gonna give you special treatment. We also have a group, a whole group, 2 cents. So if you join the group chat and you can be in there, I always monitor that group chat as well. So if you're already on the group, if you're part of the group, whoop whoop. If you're part of the group, let's see your muscles. You wanna see your muscles if you're already part of the group. And we'll check you, Irie, once you're part of the group. I had a good week. My week wasn't too bad, like it is what it is. I mean, I'm thankful for life, and it's great to have two lovely ladies again on with us this week. Stelina Blue Requires joining us from Trinidad. Stelina, we don't know where she be. She's a global citizen. She could be anywhere, right? Look at her face. She could be anywhere, right?
I'm within the
So
walls.
she's within the walls.
Within the
We got an
walls.
exciting show for you this evening. We're going to be touching a little bit on police brutality, law enforcement taking advantage of their position. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk also a little bit about success, how people view success. We're going to be touching a little bit on love and marriage. We're also going to be talking a little bit on it's Pride Month. It's June. So we're going to be talking a little bit of Pride today. So we have a packed show for you. So you cannot leave. You have to stay put because we're going to be giving our 2 cents, right, ladies?
Right.
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
ready to give our 2 cents. Yes, ma'am. We're ready. We're going to be inviting on, we gave you a little sneak peek. But I feel like we should just get them into the swing of things right away, right? Y'all agree, right? We should just bring them on. So we got
One time.
2 guests stopping by. Yes, yeah, they're coming on with us. If you missed last week's show, we had Remily, and Remily's back. Hello, and he's in the bedroom.
Hi guys.
Ooh,
Hi
the
everyone.
boudoir.
Hello,
Hi.
hello, hello,
How's
hello.
everyone?
Makeup Aru, give me pass.
Oh,
So Remily's
Speak
back
to
with us.
the
I see the
board.
bedroom. So you know his bed make, right? His bed well
Yeah.
made.
well made.
Right, well made,
Period.
clean room.
Clean,
Period
clean,
per.
Period.
and and we're also gonna be joined by Ethan, who is the current uh Dominica's male model winner. So we wanna big up Ethan in the house. Hi Ethan.
Hi, good night, guys. Good night,
Hi,
Jael.
Ethan.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Tough week, but just waiting for Friday to reach.
Right.
It's almost there. It's
One more
almost
day.
there.
Right around the
One
right
more
around
day.
the
Just a
corner.
few more hours.
2 more hours. A few more hours.
A few more hours.
A few more hours on Friday. So it's good to have you guys on here with us. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show again. Remily, we're so glad that you came on early so we can get right into the swing of things. When I say
Period.
early, like last week, we were struggling,
It was a
but
fight.
not this week. And we're happy. It was a fight, and we're happy to have Ethan here with us as well. We're going to be talking about a few serious things, and all of us going to give our 2 cents. And we're going to be talking about some pretty jokey things too. We're going to have some fun, and we want you all to share the live. Make sure all is sharing the live so that you can join in. Other people can join in the conversation. Tag a friend. We're up to 130 viewers right now. So we're swiftly moving up to 200. Thank you guys. Make sure you tag a friend, tag someone, and get them to come on down and join us right here on the show. I really love your background, Stellina. I think I need to upgrade.
Thank you, darling.
Like we
Thank
all
you.
should get the same background, right, Ricolia?
I'll
We should get
Drop the
I'll
link. Drop the link. Drop the link.
I'll tell you the trick
Drop the
to
link.
this. Yeah.
So we can be matching, like we could just have so they look like we on one wall,
Stands
we're on one
background.
wall. We're this 2 cents. It's real
I
hot.
will I
It's
will
real
drop the
popping.
link.
She's going to drop the link for us. So we're
Mhm.
gonna get the show started. And the first thing I know we wanna talk or touch on is of a bit of a serious note, and we kind of have to share it. And I was contemplating whether or not we want to share the video, But when I checked out the site that I originally got the video on, it did say sensitive content, and I don't want Facebook to block us because we show it and say our material is sensitive content. So I ain't gonna show it. So for
Right.
those of you, you probably have seen the video already. It's of a man getting a serious beating at People's Park um, for allegedly selling drugs on the premises. But to
To
kind of to
minors.
kind of to minors, to kind of also talk about different places in the Caribbean. We want to touch also on Trinidad, where front page news was actually of it was alleged that a Coast Guard officer sexually assaulted someone, and everybody is causing a stir. Everybody's wondering, and I feel like sometimes it's become the norm where we just okay with how much force police use, or how much of their force. When I say force, like how much of their influence they use, and who exactly is going to be held accountable. How are we really dealing with how does it relate to, how do they relate back to the law? Like, because they sometimes I feel like they think they are the law and that they're beyond the law, so it's like nobody can touch them, they can do what they want. And in as much as that guy may actually have been selling drugs on around kids, but was it too much force or was it not enough force? I think we lost Ray Millie, and hopefully he pops back on. What do you guys think? What is your 2 cents?
I
Like,
think, Jael, we should know as citizens, or we are not law enforcers of the law, but as citizens, we need to know our wrongs and our rights. So obviously, if you know your wrongs, you do not just stay out the way. But if you know your rights and such force is exercised upon you against you, you should know for yourself as a citizen, as an individual, how you go about doing things like that. Because that video in Dominica, it stressed me out.
why
it
trust
was
you out?
it was just like from the outside looking in, like I don't know the backstory, I don't know what happened before, I don't know what led them to going on the scene, I don't know what called it. I do not know. I can only speak based on what I saw. And if I had to go off of based on what I saw, it was just excessive force. To me, it was just too much. I looked at it and was like, why? Like, what's the problem? Like, why so much put into detaining that individual? Is it something that we have no idea about? Or, like, are we
Yeah.
really abusing our power as law enforcers, lawmakers? And as individuals, do we know our rights when these kind of things occur?
Well, recently, I don't know, like I think it was it during COVID or just late last year? We also saw it happening in St. Kitts, and it was actually a Dominican. We
Yeah.
saw excessive force, like he get a serious big down. It was Nano, like they boss him down on the ground. So I don't want to single out just Dominican enforcers. And then we see like Ricolia, brought up this incident that happened that's happened in Trinidad, where
Yeah.
where the Coast Guard or the law enforcers, they feel like the media should not talk about it. Like
Yeah.
what's your 2 cents?
So just to kind of speak to what Selena said, I agree in terms of us understanding our rights as well. I mean, I don't know what Dominica's laws are specifically on certain things, and I'll admit I'm a bit limited on the ins and outs of our law, but I would like to believe that across the board, the only time you should use excessive force is if the officers or the team of officers or someone else's life is in possible danger,
Right.
you know. But it didn't look as if that was the case. So
It
that
just
is
looked like he was getting a
definitely
box down.
Yeah.
right. So that is definitely egregious. And when it comes to well, what happened in Trinidad, for those who aren't aware, essentially it was a Coast Guard or a group of Coast Guard officers who've been accused of violating a Venezuelan migrant who was trying to process into Trinidad. Um, and what ended up happening is it was reported on one of our national papers. It was front page news. They didn't show her face. They didn't call names of anyone, but the front page headlines said, specifically said this was Coast Guard because that's what she claimed, and they included visuals of her bruises.
Oh.
And then after the fact, um, you know, said newspaper was called out and said that, you know, it would have impeded, like them reporting the news would have impeded on the investigation and also limited other victims of assault from coming forward. And in my mind, I'm like, at what point in time ever someone who's not in the services and it's reported, when is it that if a victim sees it on the papers, at what point ever do they not want to report on it? What are your
Make it
thoughts?
make sense. Make it make sense.
The math's not mathing, you understand? And for
What
you,
do you
such a
guys?
yeah, I would love to
Sorry.
hear.
I want to hear what those guys are thinking. What do you guys? I see Remy Litan is on the screen, like Remy. I mean,
What are
I'm
your
sure you
thoughts?
must have seen the video, the Dominican one, for example. Ethan, you saw it as well, right?
Yeah, I saw it. So
What are
my
your
basic
What are your
views
two
on it,
cents?
to me personally, like Stelina said, I can only judge on what I saw, and what I saw was not just excessive force, it was way too much because not just one of the officers, like literally two of them was beating on him at the exact same time. Um, you could see his demeanor was quite calm, he was docile, he wasn't resisting, he was just standing there. And if you listen closely in the video, you can hear him saying, okay, sorry, 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 right? Um, I don't condone what he was doing, but he was complying, he was standing still. So them doing that was a bit too much. And I honestly think in Dominica, with our police force, because they're police, they automatically expect more than just respect. Like it's almost like I'm passing bow down. And they're not supposed to think like that. You're here to protect us and uphold the law. But when you're abusing it like that, you're not making anyone respect you at all. Like literally, I know people, families who have cousins, brothers, sisters, fathers in the police force, and automatically that person would lose all ounce of respect that that family had for them just because of the stigma that is associated with being part of the police force. Because eventually, what happens, I'm not too sure whatever happens in Mongoose or the station after they join, they have that air about them. And when they on the road, it's almost like they don't even know you. If you pass by them, they'll be like they know spot of like, I know you, I just know you, like who are you? It's like they automatically have that thing about them. So that
Like an
abuse
elite,
started
like
happening.
they're now
Yeah,
like above. They're above the law
like
now.
top tier, like the top
Mhm.
shelf drinks. So it's like I'm
Top shelf
untouchable.
drinks.
You said top shelf.
Top shelf drinks.
Yeah,
Top
like you never
shelf
go to the
drinks.
bar, you're like, okay, just give me a little BB
Grey
and
Goose.
orange, because you know
And
you cannot afford the Grey Goose or the syrup on top there, so you have to settle for what is for you.
right.
But yeah, that video was a little bit too much. I actually felt sorry for the young man. And then after
Same.
seeing on DNO the charges that he had, and I was like, he's not the only one that should be charged. What about the police? I feel as if it was really too much for someone that was just standing there taking slap and box like a big man.
I
It
want
Honestly,
to
was
ask.
just
I
too
want
much.
to ask before Remily answers. I want to ask the viewers: should the police be charged in in those individuals' crimes? So the sexual assault of the Venezuelan migrant. Should the police officers be charged? Because it seems like they don't want people to talk about it. And obviously, the charges that went down were against the young man that was being beaten up in the video. Should the police be charged? Let us know in the comment what you think. Police should be charged, yes or no. They should not be charged. Drop and let us know. Ray Millie, what do you think?
Like, I totally agree with everything y'all are saying, to be honest, because I feel like both situations, both Nano situation and one Dominica was really escalated. I feel like we should try to find some type of law or something to penalize situations like this. Like, it should not just go off the grid like that. Like, for example, for what happened to Nano, like I just feel like we just let that slide. Like, it's
Mhm.
something that is reoccurring, and we cannot just sit there and just agree, okay, well, and just move on. And that is the problem I feel like we have. If we cannot fix that situation, then it's going to continue happening, and then the people are going to just continue getting beaten from bullies, and it's just going to continue to be something that continues to happen. Just like the situation we spoke about last time I was here, when we mentioned about kids going missing and all of these pedophiles just being free. We need to ensure we place rules and regulations to penalize situations like this. Because if not, then there's no need for us. It's going to happen again. So I feel like that is what we should try to
Facts.
possibly
I
focus on.
want to I wanted to sort of like piggyback on what Ray Millie said. At least I can speak, definitively for Trinidad. I'm not sure how it is right now in Dominica, but we are in a position where crime has been increasing steadily, over the years. We're at a point where we are really high globally for our murder rate per capita. For an island as small as Trinidad and Tobago, we're at, I think, between 1.3 and 1.4 million. For us to be in any top anything globally in terms of murder rate is ridiculous. But beyond that, beyond, just murder, we are increasingly becoming a lawless country. And a lot of it has to do with what people I think are failing to understand, like the powers that may be. People have lost a lot of respect, one, and feel as if nothing is going to come from anything, like there's no justice where anything is concerned, and it's emboldening the criminal elements to do whatever they want, because the reality is the timeline for a court case to be called, the penalties for all of these things, investigations are just going on and on. Like, we don't have the resources for a supposedly you know developed or developing island. Our justice system is in a mess, and a lot of the times the powers maybe are involved in these things as well. So a lot of these criminal elements they're not afraid anymore. There used to be a time when you would see certain authorities around, and you would bask in your crease. They're
Mm-hmm.
a lot more brazen now. They don't care. They're not afraid anymore. So when you get to that point where you are so confident, like nothing's going to come from anything, then of course you're going to see more and more criminal
And
acts happening,
increase. Yep.
of course.
Yeah,
And then
So-
on top of it all, when you again, as Ethan rightly said, when you think that you're in a position above the law, and the reality is the law is not is protecting you, what is there left for the rest of us?
exactly.
It's literally every
I
man for
want to go
themselves
to
at
I
this
want to go
point.
to the chat and hear what people are saying. Somebody's saying Joseph is saying Ethan is right. Some of them think that you should bow to them. Top shelf drinks. Al Charles is saying they should be suspended as well. We have Milana Anna Joseph is saying, hell yes, they should be charged. They're doing too much right now. He wasn't resisting arrest. And one of the officers is from my village. And I know he would not want everyone to know, do that to his brother or sister. No respect for people. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Another faithful follower, Kerville Woodman, is saying, like is on people, they passing all their underpaid stress. People not easy. Y'all not easy. Y'all giving your 2 cents tonight.
Who telling them people underpaid? Who's telling people underpaid? Who?
HDT Shorty Classic is saying yes, they should be charged. Multiple S's on here, and I think the general consensus is that they should be charged as well. And we're just gonna wait and see what develops, and majority, like, if I know other islands are locked in as well. So big up to the other islands who are locked in. As we promised, we're always going to try and have a little bit of diverse stories and diverse guests on. But I wanna say this, and I feel like this is just going to be another thing that goes viral and goes away. And like
There,
nobody really does
there
anything
must
until the
there
next.
must be
Yep.
some type of law protecting that. There's no way we just doing that without knowing we protected.
I'm not
Yeah.
convinced. Stalin, I know you're an optimist, but I'm not convinced.
No, but there has
Uh,
to be a reason. Like, you don't just do that. Like, there has to be a reason.
Well,
No, I think that
Selena,
the reason is
until
because they can.
That's what I'm
well,
thinking. What else
that's
reason?
Because
true.
they can. And who's gonna check me, boo?
All
That's the
right. What you
Well,
reality.
said, Ethan?
Karma. Come, I will check in. 'Cause I've seen a few officers that, was above the law fall down in like less than. And that same law they thought they were above came and beat them back. So it's only a matter of time. Trust me.
True.
So if he doesn't get
Karma.
justice now,
Yeah.
Kama,
That girl.
that faithful friend of ours, she'll come back around.
Karma, the faithful friend, is gonna
Like,
come
Faithful,
come
back
on.
faithful friend.
around. It's gonna come back around. Moving on to the next topic. Our next we're gonna be stopping. Yo,
Jael.
self karma. Like, okay, Ethan's dishing it out to us. He come prepared
Yes,
for us.
I love it.
We fell up on a video of Kiki Palmer, and all of us, most of us know who Kiki Palmer is, and she was talking a little bit about how people who gain success fast should not compare themselves to other people in the game, especially those who are longer in it, and they should work on building themselves instead of going for things too fast. And I mean, she started the video by talking about, we've seen of late, especially with social media, people can come up real quick, very quick and in a hurry. But the question we want to pose to you guys is that, do you feel, or do you compare your peers' success to yours? And it could be your peers, it could be your coworkers, it could be your siblings, it could be your friends. Like, do you compare their success to yours, or your success to them? This
Joe,
is the question.
when it comes to divine timing, I'm not sure many of us have heard of divine timing. Like divine timing is very real. Like my timeline for what happens for me is completely different from the timeline for what happens for you. You might take a different route. I might take one route, you might decide to take another route. My route might be slower, yours might be faster. I just feel like we need to slow down sometimes and pay attention to the destination more. I feel like we forget what the destination is. We're more focused on we're more focused on, okay, how am I gonna get there? How fast can I get there? What do I have to do to get
Yeah.
there? But we forget the destination. If we remember what the destination is, we'll take more time, to just be a bit subtle and just run into our journey.
I like you said that, but I want to kind of be devil's advocate, even for like
I was
myself,
gonna
because
say that.
I will look at like myself and my trajectory, right? And
Mhm.
somebody might say to me, Jail, oh my God, everybody knows Jail in Dominica, like everybody know. But I have friends who are same age as me. Dominica has like 60,000 people barely, right? And I have friends who I grew up with, like in Canada, like from the because I moved to Canada as a teenager, and they are, for I consider them to be further ahead, and they look at my success as so grand, and I'm like, hey, your success is grand, and they're like, no, your success is grand, and I'm like honestly, like I feel like, yeah, for the most part, like I'm in a smaller pond, and they're in a bigger pond, in the sense of, they're in this big great lake of 33 million to 40 million people, where I'm in this lake of this pond of 60,000 people. So the success is not the same, right? So what do you think required here?
Well, I agree with both of you. So, yes, I think we're human at the end of the day, and especially if we're really driven, we really want to do certain things and accomplish certain things in life. Whether these are grand career changes or just like small things on a smaller scale. It is natural for us to look at people in certain spaces, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in certain industries, whether it's friends, whatever the case may be, and from the outside looking in, be like, wow, I wish I was on that level, or how did they get to that level, or what about me? And I've been working and grinding so hard, and they were able to get it like that. And it's okay, I think, to acknowledge that feeling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that when you get to that point, you also have to sort of do it like what Selena said, and understand that everyone's trajectory and journey is different. For some people, it's really a matter of happenstance and chance. For some others, it's just a matter of depending on the platforms that they're on, because we all know that social media is where you have the most visibility, and you can become anyone on social media. And even if you're
I
not
not
as
agree
great at
fully,
what you
no. I not
do,
agree fully.
Anyone. it,
I'm not
it,
agreeing with y'all.
it takes
I'm
Why?
not
What
one.
agreeing.
part?
Why I'm not agreeing with y'all because like
What?
because I know my struggle, right? Let me tell
Guys,
you.
I'm having
Uh-huh.
I
a bit of a
quiet.
self drink.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I
But
I
where's
know my
ours? I don't
guay.
understand.
I know my guay, right? I know how much I've struggled, and
Uh,
I know also how much like my own people have kind of put me down. You know,
uh-huh.
like because I feel like I could be a lot further. For example, coming on having a show and have like begging people to share your life. You know, like you're practically begging people. Yet somebody in America will come on a they'll start doing a program that sometimes you say sister, but that not even making any sense. Like that's my two cents. That not making
But
any sense.
you are
And they
actually
blow
proving
up.
my point. You're proving my point. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
for some people it's a
JL,
matter of
without
if they happen to be in the right circumstances, they will get through, even if they're not necessarily as qualified or have like as extensive of a portfolio, whatever the case may be. Because in some cases, it really is how you position yourself, and if you're running in this in certain circles, or if you happen to know the right people, and that
I
can be
running in the wrong
frustrating.
circles. I running in the wrong circles. Ethan, what do you say? Ethan.
well, to be honest, I agree with Selena and Ricolia, right? In layman terms, well, my peers and whatnot, we call it watching each other's shoe size, right? Everybody have their own shoes to fill. Everybody have their own business. No two people have the same plan in life to reach the exact same goal. And if for whatever reason they have that exact same plan, the process in which they get to that endpoint is never the same, right? Um, Whereas you could be two people that want to own, let's start up simple thing like a restaurant, right? One might start off, selling from their home, cooking from their home, and then have orders distributing orders, use things like quick delivery or any of the other taxi services to deliver their food and whatnot. The other may just, put their food in a bag and walk around town and be like, hey, you want to buy a sandwich or you want to buy a cookie or something? That's two different ways already, but the end
Right.
goal is a
Restaurant.
restaurant. They cannot watch it other and be like, oh, she using delivery, she have taxi, maybe I should do that too. No, you cannot be watching and be like, you have your own process. You already walk in, which is number one, way better. You're having better contact with people.
Right.
You're making more customers. She has to wait until someone calls or answer to her ad to get anything out. Some people like I would say they douse their own flame by watching on other people so much that they're not
So
realizing they
true.
actually have the upper hand already and they're making it so close to their goal. But
Yes.
just that slight glance to the left and see what the other person is doing is throwing them off so much they're not seeing that. Like you just
Ethan is
literally left
preaching.
everything.
Ethan is preaching. Ethan is
Boy,
preaching.
Pastor
Church.
Ethan.
Cheers,
Pastor.
Ethan. Cheers. Ethan is preaching.
What happened to these people now?
What all
Where are our
these drinks
drinks?
that just
Where are these
I don't
drinks coming
understand.
from? Remily, what do you have to say?
Okay, so I totally agree with what everybody's saying as well. For me, I am a very competitive person. So whatever industry I'm in, wherever I am very competitive. I will ensure that everybody around me, I have to try to be on top of them. It doesn't come too dangerous, okay?
It sounds
But
dangerous.
it's not
Okay.
dangerous, but it's just like I just feel like I have to give my all. I have to be up there. So like I always tend to always see myself as that yeah, it's have to be up there. So I always see competition is good. Honestly, it makes you identify your true self and your true potential. So I honestly love
Yeah.
competition. I love being competitive. Secondly, in terms of what Selena said and Ethan said as well, just trust the process. It's all about trust the process, to be honest. A lot of time we try to force ourselves and around into things and try to have ourselves stressed out because we're seeing other people doing this and other people doing that. To be honest, it's honestly not about how quick you get there, but it's all about appreciating where you are and how you got there. And that's what really matters. Because at the end of the day, someone might have took a loan to get where they are. They may be struggling secretly, and you're here checking like, oh, I need taxi too, oh, I need this, oh, I need that. No, they're struggling trying to pay a loan when you don't have no debts. You can literally shut down your business today and come back next week. So
True that.
appreciate where you
True
are.
that.
Stop trying to stress yourself and feel like you're up there. And again, as well, we have to notice that we're in a time frame or in like a generation where it's about who you know. It's just like it comes back to the first scenario we talk about. most times when the police officers do those things, sometimes they know people that know people, so it's like people putting links for you, people always linking you, people always having you somewhere. So like in the time like this, you can't really watch nobody and try to compare yourself because everybody has their different things, everybody has their different. Sometimes she get a position, she's a secretary, she maybe don't qualify, but the person in the head is friends with her, so like she get the job.
Hey,
So
speaking,
like
preach.
it's just all
Pull
about
string.
having
Remedy,
links.
that's called pull string. Behave yourself.
Pull strings,
aka
That's
yes,
called pull
that's
aka
what
string.
pull
happens.
string.
I have a
And
restaurant. I just clean all my things, squat my thing, and people thinking, boy, I clean my containers. No, somebody inside there working a magic for you. So you can't really stress yourself. It's all about links
It's
and all.
almost like in the gym too. Like you in the gym and you're looking at somebody. You in the gym 2 weeks, both of you, but my metabolism is different
facts.
from yours.
Exactly.
So the rates at which our body changes is different. Yes, still we compare each other. No, we just have different metabolism,
And
and that's
sometimes
But some
because of
people,
protein powder, which can literally increase them in about 2 days. Meanwhile, you go in natural. So it's like different stuff. So yeah.
what some
I
people don't see as well, I think, just to kind of add to what everyone says, is that for some people, not all, for some people, you only see like the success like at the end. So for
Mhm.
some, it may appear as if they now get through, or like they
true.
now got their success. But what people are not seeing is like the probably like 5 years they've been struggling before they get
True.
their success. They probably just haven't shown it or spoken to people about it.
like
But
sleeping in their car and all of that. You don't see that,
True.
but all of a
right.
sudden you
People,
think,
some
yeah,
people tend to show the end of their struggle and the beginning of their success.
Mhm.
So, you
True.
really don't know what's been going on the other side.
Very
So I
true.
definitely have to agree
yes,
with Ethan and saying, sometimes you have to like, stop, you don't have to stop looking in the corner over there. Stop looking to your
That's
left, to
true.
your
Stop
right.
getting
Focus on
distracted.
yours.
Stop
yes.
getting
Let's
Exactly.
take
distracted.
let's take to the chat. Let's go to the chat. Tima Love is saying, I think it depends on what each individual perceive as success to them. It all comes down to each his own. That being said, I wouldn't compare my success to anyone else's. So that's what Tima is saying. Folks, let's see what other folks are saying in the chat. Somebody saying, yes, this is my commentary. Is you're speaking facts. Someone else is saying, be your so orally saying, be your authentic self. Folks are saying, I love Ray Millie. D Sugar is saying she loves Ray Millie. Somebody else is saying, networking as well can work and pay off. So these are what some of the folks are saying. So they're agreeing with you guys, that some folks, I think I did a little too long. So I might be a little, I think I might be a little, they call it beat up. Like when you've been through it for
Oh,
so long and you started to feel like a little exhausted, because you're like, okay, I tried this and I tried that, and it's not that it hasn't worked. It's just you sometimes have such a high standard, or you have such great
expectations.
expectations for
Mhm.
yourself, and then you see, okay, like, for example, posting a video, you might post a video and you expect, damn, that video gonna go viral because you do something in it,
All
and
the
then you
time.
realize,
Who's-
you watch back and you're like 100 people like that alone,
I
like
know.
so you
Facts.
feel you feel kind of like, boy, am I, like, even like I have this friend that posts like really nice videos of going up touring Dominica and whatever, and I look at her followership and I'm like, why your followership so low? Like, why people ain't sharing your stuff? Your stuff is good, like. And I always share her stuff because I just feel like she should get more
She
support because her
deserves.
stuff, yeah, her content is really good and stuff, and it pisses me off because I feel like I also get that, so I
Mhm.
get that, where she's concerned. But yeah, guys, I mean, I get what you guys are saying, and you have to keep at it. I
Yeah.
guess you have to be in it to win it. Is like lottery,
And
right? And
also,
if
as well, I do
Mhm.
apologize for cutting you off. But like, we're in a kind of a generation where people actually support more of like negativity than positivity. So we have to look at that
Fact,
point as well. Because
fact.
me at jazz in a dress will get more views than an actual person promoting something healthy or a healthy meal or having supporting
I'm
Dominicans.
glad you bring up. Speaking of jazz, you
I
in a
brought it
dress.
up because I know like these are the things that will
You
take
see,
off
Remily, Remily, you see
like
you.
crazy things. And like you just have to be trying
Why?
to do crazy
How many
things.
of you saw Ray Millie in a dress at jazz? How many of you saw Remy?
I didn't see myself.
Everybody apparently saw you, and everybody had a lot of commentary to
Exactly.
do. And I'm glad you went there. So we go there.
Yeah,
We
let's
gonna
go
go
there.
there.
Yes, you
I
went there.
know.
Remy went there for work. Gotta go there. It's Pride Month, right?
Right.
Yes.
I'm just I'm just interested to know about these two young individuals. And I say individuals, although we use whatever pronouns we want, because we figure whatever we perceive the instrument to be, that's the pronoun we're going to use, right? And that I say perceive because a lot of there are people who are intersex and they operate in one sex when they may have a different sex, of a different organ or probably none going down there, right? So you have to also be aware of that. And we're in the month of Pride, and I know in the Caribbean, I say the Caribbean because it's not just a Dominica thing. There's a lot of stigma and stereotypes and all kinds of stuff. I know of people in the LGBTQ community who have actually, and I say LGBTQ plus community, who have been attacked. I've known of people who've actually been killed. I know, like, we are very, like, I've seen people publicly on their status say, "Bun," the rest, right?
Very,
I
very
I
vocal.
know. I know of people who've gotten beat up. I know I have had a friend who's gotten beat up multiple times just for being themselves. And I feel like we're not very accepting of people. But then again, too, on the flip side, I see some people in higher society who get away with, like, they slide through and they get away with who they are, and nobody says anything. But there's always a set that will target one set, right? So it's like, to me, it's like
You kind of
almost
started gave the answer there because
We
they're
call it the
in certain
hierarchy.
positions.
It's a
Yeah, so
hierarchy.
the
they're
top shelf.
protected.
They're the top
They're
shelf.
protected. These are protected people. If they have money and wealth and power, like what are you gonna do to them? So
Yeah.
they can get away with that. Plus, they have the luxury of privacy as well.
So I want to kind of, get into you guys. I want to talk to you guys a little bit. We want to talk to you guys a little bit, and we want to kind of understand. I want to understand. I know both of you are very open and honest with who you are as individuals, right? And I kind of want to. I don't want to, again, put you on a uno platter. We're not here. We're not serving this evening. We want to be honest as a community, as a Caribbean unit, on how we treat people within the LGBTQ community, LGBTQ plus community,
Yes.
because there's other people who form part of that community. First of all, if you guys are willing to speak about it, I give you. Oh, if you don't want to, you can say, "Jael, I don't want to talk about it." Like, I'm not giving my 2 cents on that one tonight. But how do you identify in terms of your sexuality? Are you LGBTQ or another one of them? Like, what? Look at Remy. Remy starts scratching. Remy, your hair got an itch suddenly.
Yes.
Remily's hair got an itch. Remy,
We can
you
go
go
with
go
Ethan.
first, right?
We can go with Ethan. I just thought I took that's right.
You just talking to get your breath. to get some rum and coke
Yes, please.
or something from the top shelf. Since you're already on the top shelf.
That's your
um,
Ethan.
well, to be honest, I'm quite comfortable with who I am. I mean, it's not nobody's business, but if someone cannot see, then I'd recommend you going to Optifam, Dr. Ricketts somewhere, because you obviously have a problem. Um, on top of that,
Ethan, okay, Ethan, wait, hold up. I'm going to need you to slow down, cause I can't.
That piece.
It's
Optifam,
like, if you can't see, go to Optifam, go to optical services, go somewhere.
yeah, because you clearly have an issue, something
right?
going on. I mean, I don't like to put labels to people, but I mean, if you add one and one and you get two, my God, why are you trying to get three? One and one will only give you two.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
understand? Stop complicate life.
Don't complicate
So
life.
Right,
Don't complicate
right.
life.
yeah,
One on
I mean,
one is
unless it's
two.
like extremely, extremely hard, and for some reason Your bread will not butter, your lights will not pay unless you have that burning question answered. If you feel free or brave enough to ask that person where they stand, then go ahead by all means. But if you have two eyes or
Because we
one,
walk around
depending.
the straight folks, nobody comes up and asks you, how do you identify?
Exactly.
Right?
Let me wait for my turn.
Who are you taking to bed
Yeah.
tonight?
There's
Who
like
you
always
sleeping with
the
tonight? Nobody has that.
always the outspoken one. They always want to ask the stars, the people who are different. Like I'll be in a lineup with maybe like 10 different individuals, and I will always stand out, not because I black. I'll just stand out automatically. Why?
Because you're
Because
gorgeous.
you put one and one on
And you
top of
get
that.
Because you gorgeous. You
Yeah.
gorgeous. Remily, no, I think you drink enough. You want to go?
You see, my problem is,
uh-huh.
I genuinely believe your sexuality is secondary information. I am not sure who taught them that it is primary information. You cannot meet me and come and ask me what is my sexuality. I find that highly disrespectful. I will slap you. That is
So
a
I
serious.
disrespected you, right? So no, we purposely put
Uh-uh.
the question. No, we purposely put it because you guys are aware of the. Because I wanted to make sure you're
Yeah.
comfortable on this
Hmm.
show, and we purposely posed the question because people think it's their business to know.
Which is
You know
very
what I mean?
disrespectful.
You know,
Yeah.
I think people are curious to understand.
I think it's actually, I agree and disagree. There's some people who are curious. They want to, in Trinidad, we say the macos. They want to know other people's business. And
Uh-huh.
then you
That's
have
some people that
those
just want to
who
know.
they
Just
want
want
to
to
know
know for
because they also want to
nosy.
be respectful as well. There's some people who want to
True.
understand, some people who don't want to assume and make, an insult or cross anyone. So I think it actually is two camps.
Okay,
Well,
good.
I can't really say I've had the experience of people asking that question. So I can't really, I don't know, but for some reason they feel hard. Some people find it weird to come up to me. So like I just really have interaction with people that I'm not friends with. So I wouldn't say like that is an issue for me. I do not talk about my sexuality at all because as James Joseph said, your sexuality is not like some type of it's not primary information. It's not something I just go ahead explain to people. Oh, I come. Oh, hi, I'm straight. Oh, hi, I'm gay. Like there's no conversation there. Like I mean, if we're going to be taking that route, then I can explain to you what I am. So then because you're participating in that situation.
And that
But
is
if
up to you, and that's your business. So
and that
you're
exactly.
clearly saying that like in our society, we minding our people business too much. We should just drink our water and mind our business.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I can come to you and say, "Hi, I'm straight." You wash your eyes like you straight. I'll be
And
like, "Yeah, I'm straight."
But Ray, at the same time, you cannot blame me for being curious. Let's just say I
At
bounce up with
all.
you in Roseau. I mean, you can choose to respond to me or not, but let's say normal day in Roseau and we walk in and I see you. I'm like, why he wearing eyeshadow? Why he have braids? Like, I want to know what's going on. Like, explain to me. I'm just curious.
Which is fine. No, that is a different story. Because if you're a young lady or a young man walk up to me like, oh hi, I see you wear this and whatever, I was just curious as to what is your sexuality. That is a different story. But when you come and broadcast and want to have yourself and talk about oh you this and whatever, you like that man blah, 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 like like
But if
it's
I
all
bounce up with you in Rose, I'll be like, "Hey, girl!"
exactly,
Like,
so like it's a different.
like,
It's just the way you phrase it. Because I feel like a lot of times we're looking at, and as Ethan said, it's always those that are more free and open minded. That these are the ones they are attacking. But if we have to actually go into depth with the LGBTQ community, most of the LGBTQ community is DL niggas, like persons who are not actually showing you that they're gay. But that's one next day.
Ray, do
facts,
people?
all facts,
I'm
all
curious,
facts.
Ray. I have a question for you. Like, do people like? Let's say you're out in public. Do you feel like you are treated differently than other people when you go out to like maybe I don't know supermarket or party anywhere out in public?
Oh, to be honest, like I feel like everybody, like well, majority of Dominicans are women, so I feel like women tend to be even more free about it. Like I'll be at Fresh Market, either you Silver or somebody they would know me, call me Cardi, call me Ray, So like it's more accepted, kind of. I mean, no wonder there might be some folks in there that we want to see like,
Do you like that? Do you like that kind of attention, or sometimes you just prefer people just don't see you? Like, why do you see me? Well, let me just.
Well, I mean, with the girls, to be honest, I'll just be real hyped. I'll be like, okay, yeah, like they know me. Like, I like the little fame that comes.
You like the
I
attention.
like
You
yes, I
love the attention, Ray.
I
You
love
love
that
it.
because I'm like, okay, so they actually see the work I'm putting in. Because at the end of the day, I am an influencer, yes, but I want people to a little bit understand about the LGBTQ community, and that's something I have to take into consideration. So the fact that a lot of people know me and know what's going on, I'm kind of happy about it, to be honest.
Do you get Ethan? Do you get the same attention like from women or like? And I'm interested to know the community in general, like because I know of people who appear to look different or behave differently or walk through Dominica, like Remy
Mhm.
getting beat up. You know, like I know that happen. And sometimes they don't even have makeup on. They just
I
whining their boom boom a liquor harder than or a liquor smoother
Yeah,
than what is expected by society's idea of what is normal. Do
normal.
you
I feel like I feel like
what do
if
you
I'm
get,
not
Ethan?
playing, I feel like if I'm not playing games with Dominicans, that's how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like
Let
he's not playing.
well, let me tell you how it actually is, Jael. It's more about with Dominicans is presentation, and you have to know like how you present yourself out there. It's just like if you put too much out there one time, it's overwhelming. If you don't put out enough, you may like just be overlooked, right? If it's subpar, maybe overlooked. If it's just enough, then everybody be like, okay. So for me, it's like me, I'm a person. What you see is what you get, right? I am genuine, true to me. I'm the same, bubbly, happy, fun. Unless you cutthroat me for some reason, then you'll get a whole different me. But besides that, whatever you get is me, and it's all in presentation. Walking through town, I doesn't get that type of attention. Most people, they cool with me. Most audience like, oh, I'll get messages, sexiness or hey boy, you nice or those kind of things there from
Mood.
this guy. I always get like compliments and those stuff because it's how you basically present yourself. If you present
Mm-hmm.
yourself in a attractive, appealing way that when you pass by, somebody will like do a double take, like, hey, would I pass me there?
Yeah.
They'll be more accepting. But if you come too quick, like you rush up on them, it's be like,
I like
oh,
that you guys say that because it
no.
seems that it's might be in like on an individual perspective, like it
Mm-hmm.
happens on a case by case perspective. In general, let's look at the bigger picture of it, with not necessarily you two
You too.
as individuals, but in a grand scheme of things. Do you think that people in your community are accepting of people in the LGBTQ community?
Ray.
Ray, Ray, you freeze, man.
Me too.
Ray.
One person.
Ray,
Yeah, go
defrost.
ahead.
Yeah. Or maybe.
Yeah, we are. You
Yes.
know.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I feel like Dominica is made up of a lot of old style people, like elderly people, a little bit more older folks. So it might be a little bit harder for them to accept the LGBTQ community. But I must say that a lot of them try to understand it and respect us as individuals. So I like that. A lot of people as well, they tend to be a little bit rude about it, which is fine, to be honest. You don't have to accept it, which is my thing. Like, you don't have to accept anybody or for whatever they do, whatever they want to do in their life, but respect them. Because that is the problem I'm having with people. Like, they feel like because they don't accept you, they should disrespect you. You don't have to disrespect them to be against what I'm going on in your life, you know? So I feel like that's basically my thought on the situation. But I to be honest, I don't really be disrespect. I don't not really get disrespected.
That's
I
good.
am free spirited as I'm saying. I'm always in the crowd. I'm always hearing people. I'm a
Balling,
very
my
gentle
man, my man, my
people.
man, my man, my man.
You know exactly. You know, like I'm a vibe. Like, why would you want to argue with me? Like, you just embarrassing yourself.
Just go
I
with
know
the
that's
flow.
serious.
Either you go with the flow. Let's just go
Just
with
go
the
with the
flow.
flow.
And
Ethan, how
that's the
about
thing,
you?
right? But I feel like everybody should be feel comfortable enough to be who they are in whatever, no matter the setting. That let me not say that. There's a time and place for everything, right? But besides that, and keeping that in mind, everyone should be able to express themselves however they seem or deem fit in a public setting. I was having a conversation with some of my coworkers the other day, right? And I was saying, everybody looking for acceptance, no matter what walk of life they're in. Don't take that the wrong way. I mean, like, obviously we cannot accept a rapist for what he did, but we can accept him for making amends and trying to change, right? So, in terms of the LGBTQ plus community, um, I've been saying Dominica is extremely religious. It's still under that religious bracket, right? And our people are, how would you say, they will nitpick. There are 66 books in the Bible. They will nitpick what they want to fit them at that point in time. Like, I mean, you would go look in the Bible, look for everything I'm talking about is when it comes to husband and wife or adultery and those stuff, you will nitpick. You will be like, Abraham had this amount of wives and whatnot. Job had how many wives and whatnot, but we're not back in those times. You cannot choose, pick and choose what applying to you when you're ready, you know?
That's true.
That
Because saying
is
we're
quite
still
literally
very,
adulting
very
religion.
religious, right? Either you, if you don't accept it, nobody cannot
We
force it onto
religious.
you.
We're not
Uh,
religious. We hypocrite.
That's
You see, I was
right.
trying to
We're not
avoid that, you know?
religious. We
So I had
hypocrite.
to
We're
put
not
it another
religious.
way.
Very.
So you
Selena put
just
the
have
mic up
to,
to her mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, you
to
wanted to
say
make
it.
sure it was good.
I don't want to make anybody feel bad, right? But I just say like, in I really don't want to say hypocrite, but when you nitpick what you want to apply it when you're ready, you're being the word that Stellina kindly said.
A
Yes.
hypocrite. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, how?
All right. But if you don't accept something, you take a few steps back, or you take your chair and you leave, because this audience is not for you, right? We
Period.
That's
don't need you
right.
to come with all your negative
Exit
energy
statement.
saying curses, this and what. It's not helping anything. You're what do you say? You're stay in the wine, and nobody likes stayed wine. We want it
Period.
still and calm so we can enjoy all the flavors. So if that's not your cup of tea,
But look
that
some
door,
look
Well,
don't
lyrics.
we
let it hit
sure
you on the way out, you know?
Period.
It's just
Look
all in
lyrics.
respect. I
Take
believe
a
everybody
step
deserves
back.
respect. Yeah.
Step back.
I just find it.
Yeah.
Oh, I always find it ironic with all of these supposed religious pundits, regardless of the religion. They're the ones that are always knocking the LGBTQ plus community. Yet they're the same ones sleeping with the whole congregation,
Yeah, because I feel as though they
And
stealing
use it
money
still
as
from
a
the
breaking the
cover.
church,
LGBTQ.
It's a
doing
cover.
everything and not to, and yeah, involving themselves in serious in acts that they themselves are condemning. So
It's like we have
they
the
have nothing to stand on. You have
So the
nothing to stand on. I'm so
general
sorry.
consensus is let people live their life, right? Let people
Yeah.
live their life. Let's go to the
So
chat.
charming.
I wanna stop off at the chat and see what folks are saying. Joanne Mills is saying, "Live the life you love." Someone else, Safi saying, "Ethan presents and lives the life he loves. He's the real deal." Um, Miss Pretty Little Angel George is saying, "Because you're not doing too much, and that is lovely, Ethan." But I too much, not enough. Okay. Someone else, Milana Joseph is saying, "I love having gay people as friends. It's given. They always lit." Someone else is saying, Curvel is saying, "Hey Siri, play Asa. Don't do it, but let them do it." Maje, sacre hypocrite, right? Look, look, Siri actually look for this song for me, but Siri not easy now. Siri, look,
Not no, Siri.
not now, Siri.
we're not ready for this, Siri. We're definitely
But that's
not
that's
ready.
good, Jael. Like sometimes I just feel if you're curious, it's okay to be curious because I'm always curious. Like I would ask. I'll be like, well, but being curious and being disrespectful and being nosy and just sticking your nose in everybody's business, that's two completely different things. If you're not about to
True.
accept or if you're not about to understand somebody's, like, just move on. It's not your thing, it's not for you, you don't like it. Move on.
Move
One on
on.
one is already two. Like Ethan said, you cannot add one on one and get three. It's impossible.
And speaking of moving on, we're gonna move on because
Next topic, please.
I think we've I think
Next topic.
we've established that
Yeah.
we're probably a group that is our followers are just very understanding. I think people are educating themselves and they're becoming more aware that you can live in a bubble and you cannot just expect people to live like you live. Everybody has their own life, and I don't know, probably because I have like we have like the nicest followers, or we have
We
the most
do.
intelligent followers,
We
you know.
do.
And I feel like the comments in the chat is given, and they're
Yeah.
definitely applauding, and showing support to the community. And I'm so glad to hear the both of you, having so many good experiences, more good than bad, because
Negative.
I've
Yeah.
known of people who have really negative experiences as people from that community, and I can guarantee you that I, as an individual, will keep supporting the LGBTQ plus community. Caesar Fashe
Let's
Kwashe.
see if I
Um,
say
Caesar
my
Fashe Kwashe,
my
right?
backdrop is giving. Okay.
Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. We have to teach you Creole. Recoil. Caesar Fashe Kwashe. If you
Right.
vex, spit.
You like spit.
Hey,
If you vex,
And
spit.
Trini say who backs loss. It's the
Who vex
same thing.
Who
lost?
gets
Same
lost?
thing, right? Right. So we're gonna keep it moving for our next topic, and I think we cannot not touch on this one. And we were just talking a little bit about minding people business or distracting watching people, and there's a video that went viral of a groom being distracted on his phone during his wedding. I don't know if you guys saw the video, and I could probably show you guys a little. Let's see if I can pull up a little piece of the video for y'all to see, because I think it will help it will help bring context to exactly what next we're about to talk about. So let's see. Can you guys see this? You guys seen this?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So here we go.
Yeah.
So
It's
here
a
he
gorgeous
goes,
dress.
where this guy is, and his wife just got married, and they're walking down the aisle, and like he
Wait,
practically
he's on his phone?
never
You
the
look.
whole time. Like look at this. So look at this, right? So he talks to her a little bit, and he goes right back on his phone.
that's crazy.
Right back on his phone.
He is not serious.
That is crazy.
Right back on his phone. And our question, a question for you today is: if you were a bride or a groom and your partner did that, what would you do?
See how she's smiling
Hmm.
and they would talk for like 2 seconds before he went back on his phone. I'll be like off your phone right now and keep it cute.
You
Because you
keep it
can't
cute?
wanna yeah, because all eyes on you. Most likely there's a videographer there, photographer there, you got your makeup, your hair that you're looking like the queen that you are.
Oh snap.
You don't want to look vexed as you're walking down or leaving the aisle. So you want to make sure and you subtly tell him, get the off that phone right now.
Well,
Oh,
I
thank you
think that
very
phone
much.
will fly. I
Why
think
do
I'm
I?
not going to be
Why,
cute.
as a grown man, as a grown man,
There's also
as a grown man, and you decide we just got married. You're married to me. We just
nicely done.
exchanged. We exchange our vows. We coming from the altar, and all your senses in your brain telling you that you should walk down the aisle in your phone. Like something have to be screwed on wrongly in your brain. Because who does that?
That
Hmm.
phone flying. Let me tell you, Nicole, I don't know about keeping it cute. That
So
No,
phone dashed
Jael.
away
After I
so
spent all
fast.
that
Let
money
me tell
on
you.
that day, I still want to look good on my day. You're not gonna catch me looking mad out here.
No,
After,
I think we're gonna
probably
go
that.
viral that I dash the phone. That's how we're
of
gonna
No,
go.
course,
no, no, no.
And you
and
can't
You have
even
to dash
yeah,
think,
the phone, no?
you can't even think, okay, maybe he's trying to like let people know who can attend like what we just did or whatever, because we have live streaming right now. So there's no excuse in my opinion.
so somebody
There's
was
no
saying,
excuse.
I shared it on my Facebook, and somebody commented, the person was like, it's so easy to see these little clips and judge. But the man mother missed her flight to the wedding, and he was trying to secure her to fly in to make it at least for the reception. And no way there's anything else.
Isn't that what a best man is for though? And maid of honor to help you like to deal with all these things on the
No, 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 no,
day,
no.
so
That
you
was
have one
that.
less thing to think about.
That
The
comment
man
was
more
very
than.
sarcastic because she said
Ah, okay,
after she
okay.
said that she was like,
My bad.
that has to be the only reason you in your phone you're trying to get your mother to the reception because
No,
there's
but
no
on
other.
the wrong
Ethan,
thing.
Ethan,
Let me
what do you
tell you,
say?
me as the bride, have your phone, babes. No problem. I'm about to make a call as well, and it's going to be on speaker. Yeah, we just married. We are just married, man. Come on, check me now. By the reception. Meet you there? I don't never telling you come off your phone. Two of us on the phone
Two could play that
Together,
game. Two of us could play
together.
that game.
But
together.
Oh
one of
my
us will vex, and I'm more than likely sure it's not me. You will be pissed. I
God!
will not.
Right. So
Ethan is calling. But Ethan, you always had your affair. We
That's what I'm
outside.
saying. It doesn't make any sense to be losing it on that day. There's another way to get back at people. I'm not gonna lose my shit on that day, on all of that. I'm not doing that.
girl,
I
I
will take
lose
my
in my
revenge.
shit. I fly.
For
I
what?
lose in my
You know,
shit.
no, you're not worth
I
it.
fly the
You're not
phone
worth
with,
it.
and
You're not worth it.
No, no, no,
I
no, no.
marry you.
I
I fly in the phone.
we
I
stop in
No,
fly.
the
I do
middle
I
of
exactly
the
what
proceed
Ethan
to
aisle.
would do. I'd make a phone call too.
Yeah, of course.
You
Remily.
don't have to be my phone too. It's fine.
Remily. What about you? What about you?
I just laughing because I don't know because I just checking like that is just madness. I reason I would do the same thing. It's we got
It's either somebody meeting me at the reception or your phone staying on the aisle. Wanna choose one. Your
or you
phone
can
in
have
pieces on the aisle or
And more than
somebody
I
likely, the
visitor.
person you see me dancing with is them I just call, eh? More than
Period.
likely. So, get
I
yourself.
I
Bullshit.
myself
Let's go to the chat.
You
I wanna go to the
madman.
I
chat.
want to hear what they're saying in the chat.
Somebody saying is I agree is telling her I am going to lose my shit. Uh, somebody say Kels Ambrose is saying side chick on speed dial then. Um, somebody else is saying that's just what I will do, Ethan. Somebody else is saying no. Shadia is saying no. There isn't any excuse for my husband, caps lock, to be in
You
his
has
phone on our wedding day. Everything else can wait, including leaving your mother leaving your mother in the airport. Oh,
that's
I know.
right.
I just added that. I just added that. She didn't actually say that.
Yeah.
As somebody was saying, the man was posting his TikTok. Zero army come from. Look at me
that
now.
is you are
It's
not serious.
weird.
I actually sang that. I was actually singing that.
Why? So folks are actually saying that they would not tolerate this. I would be embarrassed, as a partner.
Of
I would be
course.
totally, and I
You have
just kind of switch it
embarrassment to
up.
waste? Mm-mm. You got how
Like
much
this,
meat in to
no,
embarrass
honestly,
about
like the
that is
woman
all.
Agreed.
looks very
Agreed.
embarrassed. Like she's looking like she's trying to like keep it, and she has a beautiful dress on, and
Some
nobody's
gorgeous
looking at
dress.
the
And she's
dress.
struggling to
She's
walk.
self more foolish. You know why she's foolish? She's a foolish fool. Let me tell you why she's a foolish fool. You're on his phone and you have him so? No, you're letting him go and you're in front because you go in reception. You're going in the transport, in fact, to get your phone to call somebody, you even living without him. She too foolish today in his hand.
Yeah,
You
I would
can
let
look
him go
pretty by
already. I
yourself.
leaving him in the middle of the altar. You staying in the middle of the altar.
That's
I
right.
leaving you
She
there.
too
Yeah, I think she could see
foolish.
she was trying to say. You could see she was trying to
Yeah.
save face because, like, what do you do in a situation like that? I think she herself was kind of caught off guard, but still trying to look like, oh, this is all fine. This is okay. We just got married.
Because I don't, people only come weddings to see three things. I kid you not. To see kiss, to see the bride dress, and to see how much plates or bowl they can fold to go by their home. That is the three reasons you go in wedding for. Know nothing
I am
about the
three.
groom or the bridesmaids or the groomsmen. That is the three reasons you're going for. If you're going for anything besides that,
You forgot the
that
liquor.
is really you.
You forgot the alcohol.
No,
You see what you can put in the bowl to go home in your bag somewhere.
That's right.
True. Very
OMG.
true. That is
Three
very
We
things.
true.
need to go to a wedding together.
Three, three things for the
Oh
wedding.
gosh, people
Three.
are dying in the chat. People are losing their shits in the chat. Even says three things we
Three
come
things.
to a wedding for, and
Kiss,
that's about it.
dress, and your party bag.
That's
That's right.
it. Period. Speaking of marriage and speaking of all of that good stuff, because the kiss does lead to other things, right? We wanna switch it up because we wanna actually focus on something that we've also seen trending a lot, and that is the question of at what age would you ask your parents if your boyfriend or girlfriend would spend the night?
No age. Bye. We're not
The
having that
14th
conversation.
of
Over.
February. The 14th
No,
of February.
Oh my god.
no age. Which parents? Which parents? None. Neither one
You
of them.
mean
It's not
you mean
happening.
the American parents and all those sitcoms they we used to watch growing up? Those parents, those fictional parents.
But you see those,
Because
you
it's
see those,
not
you see those I have? Those I have? No. No, we're not doing that.
as an adult.
No,
Much
Could
as
not
never.
smart
even
as
as
it.
an
So
adult.
Exactly.
We're
as
not
an I
doing
was saying, as an still as an adult could never.
So
what is it? Is it a,
Hollywood not, Hollywood not even consider it. Like,
you girl, you
like,
crazy man.
There's certain conversations you just kind of like skirt around, and that is definitely one of them.
It shouldn't
It
even
is
so
start.
not
at no
happening.
age.
It's not
So it's
happening.
not happening
No
at
February. I
offense.
18.
No
said
offense.
It's not
February.
happening at 25. It's not happening at 30. It's not happening at
No,
40.
Listen,
I
up
didn't even
until
have
a
all
few
those
years
ages
ago,
there.
my mother called my boyfriends my friends, knowing that they were full well my boyfriend. She's like, "Oh, so how's your
Wow.
friend going?" So again, the
You see?
14th of February.
Ugh.
Hmm.
No, it
Jael, I
cannot
have two things
happen.
working against me, right?
Two
One,
things working against.
let me tell you what, my mother put me out at 18, number one. So anything beyond 18 was out the door. Number two, unless that person was willing to ask her themselves, I would not have done it. I was afraid to ask my mother for snack money, eh? And back in those times, snack money was 50 cents a dollar. Because she's going to ask me where the money she gave me yesterday. What you mean where the money you give me yesterday? I use
You
it.
see it?
I
Really,
don't have more. So unless the person, and I used to have a lot
You
of
can't even ask for snack money. You just
teachers,
went to sleep
my
over.
friends, I used to have to tell them, ask my mother. I'm not able to ask her. Ask her. I'm never able to
you
ask. I don't
cannot.
even know how to start to ask. But if you feel you have the courage and the strength to
Go right
approach my mother,
ahead.
ask her.
Emphasis
And
on
most of the time,
strength.
that's
Remily,
how I end up
Remily,
going nowhere.
what age you ask? I know your mother, Remily, and she's gangster. She's mad cool. Would you
Aye, aye,
ask your
aye.
mother for your partner to sleep over, or you sneaking them in?
Friend.
I don't even think what I want him to sleep over. To be real honest. So much as I would have to do with somebody else there. But I would never disrespect my parents, like to be honest, to be anybody there, especially if I'm gonna go and be there like vibing. Like I'm not going to bring
Mm-hmm.
up these things at my house because you never know one thing can lead to the other and then you multiply in the house. Like that just that's like a bit
It's
disrespectful.
awkward.
Yeah, and
It is
awkward,
very
like your
awkward.
mommy
Oh,
just
like
there, she
for
can knock
me
like,
too.
you want supper? Like, yeah.
Also too, like it's kind of weird for me because even if let's say in some fantasy world my mother actually says, yeah, sure, it's hard for me to have fun
Accept.
time
To sleep the
knowing
night will
that
be like this.
my
One eye
mother
open, one eye
He said
closed.
yes,
knowing
exactly. It's so
knowing that
weird.
she's a few feet away, that's just that's a
You're
little
not
weird.
Yeah,
sleeping
I
all
yeah.
don't
night.
want that.
And
I
she
You're
don't
can
not
want
just
sleeping
knock
that.
all night.
anytime.
I don't know
I'm
if I
just to
could,
think
if
about
I
if you're
would
gonna be
ever.
loud, like no,
It
that's too much
doesn't
headache.
even. It
Too much
doesn't
headache
even
and a
have
story.
to get to that point. Like, first of all, we might not have any intentions of,
Exactly.
Nothing.
Really,
of
Fooping.
pooping,
really.
but just the idea of me being in a house with both my parents
With
and
Ma and Mr. Osh.
ma and Mr. right, and me and my man
Nope.
My
is
man,
in a room somewhere in the same house
Close proximity.
for me to bring myself to say, hey mom, yeah, my boyfriend, you come to sleep over for the week. Get what?
Weak, weak.
No, it's not
It's not us
happening.
for one day, you're asking for a weekend.
Uh, no, I mean
I think that's a suicide attempt.
of course
Trust
he will
me.
come over. He will come over. Would spend time. Would sit. We'll be in the house. Would you come over? Let's spend the day, baby. Of course, let's chill. But when you see the sun sets,
You lie. The sun don't have time set.
That's
Before them,
right.
let's turn on the street light.
That's
before the
right.
light, no, we
Before
have
the
to.
street light come on, it's time
You
to
have to
go.
We
go.
It's
have
time.
to
It's time.
roll. We have to roll
That's right.
Even as adults,
as
but
adults.
I think it's a general consensus across the Caribbean because Dennis Belfon actually commented and she said that will never happen. And I mean, she's almost pushing 60 if she's not 60 already, right? And it's a general consensus that we have such high respect for our parents
As we should.
that we don't even want to think about it
That's
because
why we do them the audacity of doing it behind their back. You
yes,
understand?
Yes, because we love them that much.
We
Yeah.
love you that
We
much. We
love
don't
you that
understand
much.
you.
We'll
We,
sneak around
you
behind
know,
you.
we go by peppers. We go behind the school. We go by a next friend
Yes,
house. You know,
house.
anywhere else but not your house. You understand? We love you that much to keep you sane enough.
And
You
even and
understand?
even when I feel like, all right, you know what, I'm grown. I can sleep
Grown
out.
and
Let me
sexy.
sleep out. I grown. I feeling so guilty outside the house. Like
if you guys were
Actually,
married
no,
though,
I don't feel
what would you
guilty.
think? If you guys were married to the person, what would you
then we don't need to be at
consider
my.
it?
If we marry, we don't need to be at my parents' house. They are.
No, but
We,
what if he's like, okay, like let's case in point. Like all of us from like most of us understand country living, right? And
mm,
I mean I grew up in like the rural parts of Dominica. So you might be living in the city with your husband and your parents in the rural parts, like the in Vacas, right? Which is like 36 miles from the city where you live. And you know it's the weekend or probably it's like it's Christmas. So you 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 go up Vegas, you go up country for Christmas. You will not allow your you will say tell your husband, well, honey, after you see the
Jael,
ham finish, we going back down.
it could
He
be
can sleep on
Yes.
the
It could
couch.
be
He can sleep on
Easter.
the
It could
couch.
As
be
we finish
Easter.
eat, as we finish carry, let's go back by us.
Clock
What
out.
you mean? Stay
Because you
over
see,
to do what?
the thing
Hmm.
is too, I don't want my mother knowing or thinking that I'm doing those things. I don't want her to have these thoughts even. Like that makes me uncomfortable.
For
So if,
real.
if let's say we are married and we do come over, like we spend the night or whatever, you can sleep on the couch. I don't
In
want
my
her
grown
thinking
in my
about
grown
that.
age, I still feel my parents only had sex when they had us. That's
Same.
it.
No, that's the only time.
You
I
see?
That's
agree.
it.
I'll take
and,
you.
So
I'll
and
take
so
you
I
one
don't
trip.
want
That
and that's
one time.
it.
I don't want to think about that.
so oh, they wouldn't handle a step red then,
I don't
Nope.
What
like
is
a
a
cat
step
flap,
parent? What is that?
like a step
What
mother
is
What you
that?
flap.
mean?
Because
They
I
just
had
enjoy each
one and
other's
honestly,
company.
it wasn't that.
They just enjoy each other's company.
Eh,
My
I have
Or
parents
one
parents
mother,
my
events.
parents
one
my parents
father.
have free children
Anybody that come
and
after
free times.
is we
Yeah.
Free
cool, we
Nothing
times.
Gucci.
That's
different.
it. That's it. Let's
No.
see what people in the chat. People are dying of laughter. That's crazy. Somebody Shara Boo is saying that's crazy. Somebody saying grown. I have a child and a man. Wait. The comments are going really fast. I still nervous to say my boyfriend in front of my mom.
Thank you. Friend. Friend.
I mm, I have to
Somebody
bite
said
my tongue.
Curvel Woodman is saying, I make a child and my mother still don't know if I take it, man.
The child came by a
Somebody
store of
saying,
love.
Cynthia is saying, I'm married and I still would not dare unless it's an emergency. Someone else is saying, Joven is actually saying it's different from men. Well, some men, see, saying some
It's
men
true.
actually invite women to sleep over at their home. But I get the feeling that a lot of times it happens in secret, though. Like it's not that they really tell, because I know I've had my share, right? Of like waiting till everybody's sleeping, sliding in through
I
the
know
back
that one
door.
well. I
Sliding
know
through the
that
back door. I mean, I don't recall being up and awake with everybody laughing. We're watching TV, and after it said lights off, we go and sleep, and I walk into the room, and I don't ever recall that. I always recall leaving and coming back.
No, but it's true. Like some boys and men are held to a different standard. I think it's sort of like the mindset of, boys will be boys. So they're allowed certain things, to have like their female friends over versus us,
True.
where it's
I think
like, nah,
it's
he can
more
stay in the
accepted.
gallery. It is. It is.
It's more
Even if they
accepted.
even if they don't accept it or they don't like it, they will accept it.
I
Fast.
wonder why is it like that? Why?
Hmm. Misogyny. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm getting my
Oh
third.
my god, I
Sorry.
give it
I'm getting my third. I'm so sorry, guys.
shit. You need some water. Next time you need to get that memo. You need to get that. We need to get that memo on making sure we have drinks. When people come
Listen, the rounds we need it.
with the drinks,
Oh, so
Yeah, but
Jail
no.
and you guys alone don't have a drink. Sad.
I
We
want
have
to kind of close
water.
off. I want to close off with this final question that I want to shoot to see, our 2 cents. Since we spent a lot of time talking about the LGBTQ community and trying to get a
Plus,
better understanding, plus community, and trying to get a better understanding of, how we see things in the Caribbean, or how we see people from the LGBTQ plus community. And the question I want to ask is that if your son or daughter were gay, what would you do?
who you
Is this
asking?
a question for
It's a
the
general
audience or
question,
for
like
us?
for the audience, for us.
Okay.
If you found out that your son or daughter was gay, and let me tell you, so I know this one person. Not gonna call no names. We'll say they an anonymous person who I am aware they've been very vocal against the community, and it turns out that their kid is actually
Oh,
right.
It's
the
always
irony.
And
Ooh.
and I'm just like, boy, like I sometimes, I don't know, probably I'm petty. I sometimes I go on their page to see if like they still say stuff.
it's giving petty jail. Yeah,
Oh my god, I'm petty.
yeah.
I'm petty Betty because
As you should.
I'm just like,
I agree.
hello, right? I'm just
Yeah.
Not
like
you, not your child.
So what you
like
gonna do
how
now?
like hello,
Well,
like
I
I'm,
can
I'm
can I give my 2 cents, JL?
go give you 2 cents.
Okay. For me, if my son or my daughter, first of all, I'll be very happy and proud that they came up to me because I want to make that environment for my children where I want to be there with my child and be like, so you're really out there having sex? So you like that person there? Like, I want to have that level of conversation. I want my children to be my best friends. Like, we can go, to the point we can even go out together, have drinks, and come back. I want to have that type of relationship with my children. Make it so comfortable for them. I mean, don't forget yourself, but I'm like, make it comfortable for you that you can come and tell me anything at all, right? If
Mhm.
my child ends up being whatever in the spectrum they want to be, I'm not going to hit my child. I'm not going to push away my child. I'm going to love you even more, right? Because one, you're showing me that you respect me.
Mhm.
Two, you're showing me that you trust me so much with some that deeper part about you that you came to me to tell me that no, it's my duty as a parent to protect you and give you unconditional love. Because if you don't get it at home, first and foremost, Lord God, the way the world going out, I don't want you to go and get it from outside. I want you to feel again comfortable to see that you had it at home first to create that space. Because the experience that I went through, even though it's not even me that come out, it's somebody that carry my message like I did give them that burden and to carry for me. That experience I went through, I would not want my children, because I want to have children eventually, to go through that at all. Your sexuality as a human being is only like maybe 10% one part of you. What about all the other traits that you possess? Everything that making you you. You can't focus on that one part. First of all, that's not even my business. But if I got to come and tell me I appreciate it, what you decide to do with your parts, then that is you, because it's yours. You can do with it as you please. I can only guide and advise. I will never hate you, discriminate you, or push you away. You understand? Because at the end of the day, you are mine, and I have
For
to be there
me,
for you.
I would want to be able to like Ethan just said, I would want to know, okay, I have a channel and I am able to guide you and advise you if you come out that way. I want that opportunity. I mean, at what age would I actually accept my child, coming out as gay? That I'm not sure. But I have to feel like you know what you're getting into and understand that dynamics are actually different. Because in reality, it is, being gay or straight, it's two completely different worlds. So I'd first need to know that you get it and you know that's that and that's that. And if I can guide you along those lines and just you're my child. I mean, what am I gonna do? Stress myself out because you came out?
Well,
Mm-mm.
I think I'm the only person who has children in the on this panel,
You
and
might be.
as somebody who has two boys, um, and if they were to come out to me and say, "Hey, I would accept them completely. I would accept them completely because that essentially, like what Ethan said, that is not your entire being. It's just a certain percentage of what you do. It's not who
Sometimes
you
it's two
are.
minutes, literally
Exactly.
2 minutes of
Hello.
experience. It's
Oh
not
gosh.
much.
It's not much, right? So I will completely accept you. I don't know if I would go clubbing with you, though, Ethan, because I don't know if I want to be bouncing up in a Triple K Jam and Jojo there. I'm not sure about that yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know. You never know. I mean, considering he had his first carnival experience this year, and he's like, next year I in that, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, calm yourself down.
Yeah, yeah.
We just give you a little whiff of it, like chill your soul. And then, so I don't know about that part, but in terms of coming to me and saying that, hey, mommy, that I choose to love differently than the expectations of society, I will totally, completely accept you. I'll encourage you. I will force that you practice safe sex. When you do what you do, I'll probably buy you a box of condom. That's me, right? And that's essentially what I would do. How about you, Ricardo?
So to sort of touch on what Ethan said, I want to create an environment for my children, if and whenever I should have them, where they don't necessarily even have to come to me and say, "Hey, mommy, I think I am gay, bi, lesbian, whatever, identify as whatever." I want to create an environment for them where they, whenever they come to that conclusion or they think that they may identify as such, it's a situation where they're like, if let's say I have a boy and he's like, "Hey, so I think I like this other boy," or if it's a girl, "I think I like this girl and this boy." They don't necessarily have to come out to me. They're already in an environment where naturally they can say these things in the same way a boy can tell his mom, "I think I have a crush on this girl," and he feels comfortable enough to say that. I want my children to feel comfortable enough to say, "Well, I like this person, or I may identify as this," without even thinking that it's a thing to come out about, if that makes sense. While also, of course, providing them not just with the love and support, but also preparing them to, be in certain spaces where they may not be as easily accepted, in spaces outside of mine, and knowing how to handle and deal with that and not absorb that negativity. Understanding, like, okay, these people, or will be people who don't like me or accept me for this. That has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna keep it pushing.
Yeah.
That's the kind of space I want to create for my children.
Remily.
Hmm.
Hi. So, I kind of want to touch on what Stelina said. I totally agree with what she said. Growing up as who I am now, as Ethan said, we go through a lot. Like there's a lot you have to go through. And to be honest, at some point in my life, I was scared to interact with the boys. Like, like the male persons in my family, I was scared because I was like, oh my god, it's contagious. Like, they might just automatically turn out that way. And I was like so concerned because I was scared of I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to put them through that because I know what I used to go through. There's a lot of male kids in my family, like up to this present moment, I have not met and deal with, just because I'm just still scared that it might actually be contagious. But like honestly,
That's
I do not
interesting.
That's
want to have
very
kids.
interesting.
That's
I
interesting.
honestly, yeah, I honestly do not actually want to have kids because I'm scared I'll get a boy as well, and I honestly don't want to influence them. I mean, I do understand that sometimes that they said like kids they learn from the environment, and having someone like me around, I feel like it might influence them. So it's the kind of like a difference I see from a
Wow.
different
That
point of
is
view.
that is
However,
we're losing you in and out. You're breaking in and out, Remily. But
if I do have a
are you guys hearing him too? Or are you guys
No,
No,
he's
he's
breaking up a
breaking
bit.
up.
sorry,
okay? So I thought it was just on my end, but that's a very interesting perspective that Remily brought up, because um we see, like, in society now, like, a lot of
and they come
parents
out to me as
a lot of we lost Remily for a
We
second.
just
A lot
lost
of
him.
parents kind of kind of just they feel like they need to push their children to be who, like we saw a viral video recently where a girl was holding a baby, a boy, and she was saying, I hope you're gay. You know, I hope you're gay. I don't know if you guys saw it. Yes, there was a
I
viral
didn't,
video
but
going around, and she was just like, I hope you're gay, you know. And apparently it's 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 obvious that she is gay, or she's a lesbian, and she's like trying to like preach this the lifestyle on the child. And I'm like, that is
but
what is
she's
significant to
also
the upbringing of your child.
but she's also sort of doing the exact same thing that people in the straight community are doing. So where like you're hoping that that child is straight, you're sort of
Hmm.
continuing that particular
I so
cycle. Like
don't
it's
think that is
not.
important. I don't think
There's
it's
also that.
important. I think we should focus on what values we can instill. You know
Exactly.
what
Yeah,
morals we you know what we grew up knowing and loved. Like I feel like I mean I grew up in a time where I saw computers come about on the scene. You know, I lived through that age where TV was a big box. Now everybody have flat screen TV. I lived for an age where people had home phones, right? And I want to be able to share those experiences and talk about these to my kids, like what you do with your dingaling or your,
In other
that
regions.
is your business, you know, like
it's
and
yours. You
Especially
have to
now, like
understand.
we're in a very weird time when it comes to humanity on a whole, and I don't mean to get all philosophical, but you know, there's some crazy ass shit happening right now. People are losing it, and I agree with you 100%. Like I feel like human decency is
Lost and gone.
lost. Yeah, it's like
Lost,
where is it? You know, it's like a pot of
lost.
gold at the end of the rainbow these days. So I agree with you 100% that we need to be more focused on raising, you know, decent human beings, like
human.
decent children to
Yeah,
become
basically
human
become,
beings.
yeah, about their
I
character instead of their sexuality
character,
because yeah,
exactly. That is very much secondary. What you do behind closed doors honestly has nothing to do with anyone
because
else
the door
except the two
closed.
people
That's the
or the
only
three
That's right,
people,
the
the
reason.
door
four
closed.
people that you're involved with or
I
in.
think it's the time we're living in too, because let's just say I have a child now and I go to my parents, I'm like, hey mom, hey dad, well, your grandson or your granddaughter, came out to me, and they're like, hey mom, I think my daughter likes girls and my son likes boys. I don't think they'll be too open to that conversation, given the time that they were raised in and came up
Hmm.
in. Like it goes totally against their moral beliefs, their religious beliefs. I think it's the time, as opposed to us now, Gen Z, being more open and understanding all these other things. I think like back in the day, it would have been much more difficult
Speaking of
for
back
us
in the day,
to
let's go to the
accept
chat
that.
because
Yeah,
some folks in the chat are actually saying, someone is Joselle Fountain is saying, I would make noise first. I swear for my boy. Then after may accept eventually.
yeah,
Um, as somebody else is saying, I just want to like pull up, you know, a few of the comments that some folks are saying. So Kervel Woodman is saying it's easy to accept it from others. I cannot speak on if my gay child, I don't know how I would react unless I'm in that situation. So I don't know what I would do. And that's an honest, reaction. Someone else is saying, um, I'm more concerned. So Carlene is saying, I'm more concerned with my child's character than their sexuality. Somebody
Thank
else
you.
was saying having a good relationship with your parents should be able you should be able to make this kind of conversation go smoothly. Parents will be parents, hard and angry for a bit, but will love you as is, or they should, I should say, love you as is. But there are some parents who believe what society will say about them just because of the twist there, or the, I guess, the direction their child has taken. Somebody's laughing and saying if I have COVID. No, it's not COVID. Somebody's saying once is a boyfriend and not a man. Stay home alone. Sit down, little girl. I don't know what they mean
I think
by
Nicole talked
that, but
about the last conversation
okay, all
about,
right.
yeah.
Uh, so Shadia is saying, well, Jael, I have some children. I have children. And if anyone came out to me, I would be happy that I'm their safe space so they can confide in me and would
yeah,
love them the same way.
Love.
My love for my children doesn't have boundaries. and I will deal and we will deal with you coming out with it along the way. It won't be an easy road at all, especially being in this world. Me personally, if my child came out to me, I won't tell their great grandparents or even their grandparents because they would not be open to that conversation at all. The
Exactly.
of the family should essentially be there to love and not bash them because
That is
They
what a
are,
parent
unless they're
is.
successful, right? Remember the hierarchy. Trust me, if that person is a top ranking member in that country or
community.
community, and they have this or they have a strong name, the grandparents will back them. But anytime they're borderline or just commoners, they'll screw up their
Commoners.
face. They'll turn left. They'll turn right. They'll never watch you straight.
I
So
can
Commoners.
understand. I can understand for some people that it could be a struggle to accept this for whether it's their child, whether it's a friend, a cousin, whatever. But I think the question you start to ask yourself is someone saying that they're gay, lesbian, bi, whatever. Someone saying that they identify as such or they're part of this community. What is that taking away from them as a human being?
Facts.
Right? What is that taking away
Facts.
from them? Especially if they're decent, upstanding, they're doing everything that they should do as a human being. What is that? What is who they love eventually? What is that taking away from them? And if it's
Mm.
nothing, then what are we really upset about?
What,
What's
Remily, you dropped off for a second. You dropped off for a second, and we got you back on. So thanks for coming back on because you kind of started off or spurred, this conversation that we were just having, and I want you to be able to continue to give your complete 2 cents
I
because
think
we
he's.
lost you for a
I think
second.
we lost him again though.
He's
Are you there,
frozen.
Remily?
He's frozen.
No, this person again. Let's hope that he can come back on in just a little bit. So Remily, if you're checking out the chat, drop off, come back on because we wanna wrap up the conversation now, and we want to wrap up with you being there.
Mhm.
But I think the conversation this evening was very very interesting. A lot of folks had some really good things to say. Somebody would say, Jevan Dark Horse is saying, I would love my child always, and we're so happy to hear from folks being so positive about what route they would actually take if their child came out, and it shows that our society is evolving. I'm so proud of us,
We
as
are.
Caribbean people, because I remember when Buju came out with, the
Boom.
song.
Bye.
I don't even have to go right.
Bye.
Well, I was pleasantly happy, when he stopped performing it, because
Yeah.
it was actually a song that spread a lot of hate, or promoted hate, I should say. And I think that we should be accepting of everyone, regardless of who they choose to lie down next to. That have nothing to do with you, unless it's a child,
Even
right?
for me
and
to
and,
jail,
and I
like
think
Child and
and I
animal,
think we
child
should
and
take
animal.
I think we should focus more, and give more energy to the folks who sleep with children
Thank you.
and animals than we
Thank
do
you.
with people who sleep with people that have consented. They're adults and they know what they want in their lives, right?
I think
they
it goes
did
back
and they
to
had sex.
learning
So
through jail because honestly, like for me to be honest, back in the day when I was like, younger and immature, I would be singing that song of Buju loud because yeah, who want like why yes, let's sing. But
And Chichi
no,
Man.
exactly.
I was
But
actually gonna say that I think TOK actually said that they're no longer performing that song.
oh
Mhm.
really?
Yeah, I think I
Chichi
saw a
Man?
headline with that the other day. Yeah, I think I saw a headline with that the other day that they're no
Oh
And
longer
well
make a
gonna
whole
good.
perform
TikTok about
that.
that
So
song.
growth.
It's just growing too, yeah. Cause now I'm like, no, I understand. Like it's none of my business. Like why I have to be singing that song at the top of my voice, and why am I not minding my business? You
And
know?
I still
I
find it
think
to
a
be
lot of
just a
us.
song, so I just
I think
repeat
a
Say
lot
that
of
it.
again.
us was singing this song because it was a song.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just check it. It's a
and
song, but
and,
then it's
and not
supposed.
necessarily because we were promoting, but the song does promote
yeah.
hate and
In the
anger.
same way, in the
So
same way, there are a lot of hip hop. There's a lot of hip hop and rap songs that talk about how women are bitches and hoes and kill her
Mm-hmm.
that so. But the beat is fire, and
Yeah.
you're kind of like conflicted. Like this is so
you're
wrong,
torn.
but
You're torn. You're like, yes,
But
kick that. huh, and you're like, no.
No. I think it was the same
Ethan,
thing as well. It's in dancehall songs.
Remy, wait, you were gonna say something. You wanna chime in?
Say something before I got cut off.
No. Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, so I was saying, I guess it's because I was getting emotional when I decided to cut. But yeah, so I like, I do like, I don't know. For me, I feel like back then, not now, I don't feel like more. But I used to feel like I would rub off my ways onto boys, so I used to like stay away from them. Even in school, I would be weird. I'd be like with the girls, because I feel like I would contaminate people. And that also is because of how
Wow.
people treat
How
me as well. Because I used
societies.
to feel like I was an outcast. Like, to be honest, everybody used to see me like I was an issue. So because I just felt like I was just not fitting in, I didn't want nobody else to get that off of me. So I always decided that I wouldn't want kids until later, just recently I just decided I want kids, I want kids, I want kids. But I was so scared that I get a boy, and the next thing the boy
Mm.
comes to gay and actually, like, it just, I don't know, it's just a fury, and I'm hoping that it does not prove me wrong, right? Because if the child does come out actually gay, then it's going to really, I think it's going to really impact me as a person, to be honest.
I think you grew up
And
in the coming of age, so it's like you're at that stage where you're like in almost like in limbo. So where you became, where you accepted yourself was right around the time where there's a lot of other people not really accepting, and probably like in the next 10 years, we've I mean those group of people, those group of young people that are coming up now that are so much more. I call them alpha, alpha something, but they're so much more like sure of themselves, and nobody can really define who they are
yeah,
but themselves. I think it will be more accepting then. I'm sorry that's, and I'll apologize for how society has treated you. I'll apologize on behalf of society, because you should have been treated as a human being. You should have been treated fairly. You should have been loved. You should have been admired. Because the little bit I know of you, I mean, I know your mom. As I told you, I grew up with your mom. We went to school together, so that's how old I is. But 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 I see her always like defending you on social media. She's a ride or die for her Lee, right? And I wish there are more moms like that, really, advocating for their kids, and say, I remember one comment she said, I didn't we didn't ask for him to be how he is. You're not going to make me disown my child, and like people
Love
want,
it.
it's like
Love
people
it.
almost want to cast you away. And I can say, like, I'm so proud of her stance and just standing by you and standing strong. And I want to shout out to everybody else who's really stood up for you. I mean, I didn't grow up knowing you. I only learned of you, when you went viral,
Same.
so to
I was
speak.
like, who is that? Who
And
is that person? Who is that?
exactly, right? And I just want to commend you on being your true, authentic self and not giving a shit what anybody has to say about you. And you keep it 100, you keep it real, you wear your makeup, you do what you want to wear, you ball my man, you check your sin, and
yeah,
you make your videos, and you're just yourself. And I hope that other people who are torn between who they are because they're unsure of how society can see them can
And take a
be a
page.
little bit inspired by
Jill, that is
you.
not something I want
that
to
is
tell
exactly
you,
what I wanted to
Yes,
because
go
say.
that's
ahead,
something I
Fred.
wanted to mention, right? Anytime, well, from a logical standpoint, right, and what I've experienced, anytime someone is so invested in someone who is part of the LGBTQIA plus community, that every time that person comes around them or they see that person, hear about that person, they're
They
so
intimidated.
uncomfortable to the point. It's not just intimidated. That person is living the life that they want to live or that they are not able to live. Because you cannot tell me you have a lesbian or a gay person over there and that you don't know that person from Adam, but every time you hear, see, or encounter that person, you're on edge.
Your
Not
Yeah.
picanus
because you
come
hate
up.
them, like,
Hmm.
let me tell you, everything inside you boiling because you so hate that person. To me, it just comes off that that person is living their truth, you're not able to, and you're jealous. You want to be like that, but you're so upset inside that you don't have that courage, that energy, that free spirit to do what they're doing. The
Yeah.
best way for you to channel it is for you to pick on that person, bully
Mhm.
Yeah,
them, for
there
them
are a lot
to
of people
be
projecting out
go
there.
back to
They
themselves.
are
Yeah,
closeted, like
Okay.
behind the closet, and yeah,
Closet, closet.
the closet, and
because
yeah,
they're in
like
closet, they
it
are the
makes
closet.
them
They're
uncomfortable
built
that
in.
they
The
cannot be
closets.
as
They build
open.
the closets.
So Remilly, I actually want to disagree with you just for a quick second. If you do have kids and if you do have a boy, I hope that he turns out to be exactly like you because you are a genuine, authentic, decent human being, and we need more people like that. So I do hope that whenever we get to that point, we have another you in the
Yeah.
Do
universe. We
you?
need more of you.
Do
And that would
you?
be so cute. Like I swear, like I would really love that to be honest. We would match.
I
We would mash up a nigga. I would
I
literally
I
just
love
mash up
mini me.
mini
Make
me.
space. Make space.
Oh god.
Remilly and Remilly.
Remilia, Rebili.
Really,
Okay.
yeah.
Remilia.
Oh wow.
It would be a mess. Like I would literally step on necks. At this point that I do I have two
Let me watch my neck. Eh? I watching my neck from now
literally.
on.
But to
I'm
be
watching
honest,
my neck.
but to be honest, I just wanted to just touch base on a little bit on me as well. I've come a very long way to be honest. This confidence has not been here. I have really fought and I am really fighting, still fighting to be honest. My self-esteem was low, like very low, and I am so proud of who I am, and I just wish that people would see me for who I am. And at back then I used to be like, boy, so much people do like, but right now I'm just like, you know what, you like me, that's fine, move on. And I'm so happy that I'm at that stage
Yes.
in my life.
But Ray, like it's burning to us. Like, why do you think people are like that towards you? I feel like, damn, Remy again. Most headache had like people like, what's going on with him again? Like, what is it about Ray Millie that
Um,
we're just not getting? Like,
No,
I
I
have
think it's
no
exactly what
idea.
Ethan said. They see something in him that is something in them that they don't
They cannot
understand and
show.
they cannot be
Mhm.
themselves. So
because if
that
we
is
go back
why
to
it's a
like
burning desire.
back to Jazz
It's a
and
burning desire.
Creole and him in the dress. When I saw the picture, I was like, damn, he's really wearing a dress for real. Unapologetically, just there at Jazz and Creole in a dress. It was to
Full
me,
full beach face,
full
full
bit
beach face.
to me, I
Yeah,
was like,
done everything.
shit.
I
It
didn't know
was
what's crazy. Like I will literally go out in the public and I will try my best to ensure that I respect everybody as well because I don't want to put force myself on people. When I went to jazz, I walked all the way to the back to ensure I was right by water edge where by my hairstylist and my makeup artist to ensure that I was isolated and not in the crowd with everybody. The only reason I
They
reached at the
catch you.
front
they
was
hold
when
you
the
in,
street girl
they
but yeah
will hold you.
they come right by the car and one took on the picture. Like I mean,
They catch
you
you.
are pressed. You that is not like some that is you need to check yourself. Because what are you doing coming right down there and take a picture to
They
come
were
right?
looking
Like
for
that's
They
you.
not,
were looking
They
for
were
it.
looking for
Where were your
you.
shoes? Like you didn't have any shoes on
I
anything.
had I had heels and the heels on stick
Oh
because
God.
the
Happens
road
to the best of us.
you need to fix
For
the
sure.
road. Like I
You need
was
to
just
fix.
stepping. I made two little step. I just need to come out. I said,
Ethan,
not my stuff.
Ethan,
Fun.
Ethan, right?
I
Ethan,
spent so
look.
much money and then I just check in my heels just decided I just left class and I walk up the hill.
I
Oh, you
said,
had your heels.
guys,
Okay.
this
I
is
leave it
where
on
we
the
wrap
yeah.
it up. We wrap it up. We need to
Oh,
wrap it up for the evening. I think those heels take the cake for me tonight. There, the heels
Yeah,
mash up.
This
Oh, you need to fix the
I
road in
did my hair,
Cabri.
my
fix the road.
nails,
Fix
investment deals, everything I just destroyed. I was
so
like,
your
okay,
heels
Couple.
destroyed and you just agree you stay without shoes. Period.
that's
Oh
right.
my
And I
God,
walk up the hill in a stockings. Because I'm
guys,
that big.
guys, are you enjoying the show? Did you enjoy this show? Did you enjoy? I am so glad that you guys could have joined us this evening.
Ethan, are
Thank
you
you
okay?
so very much. Ethan is happy enough. Ethan is dead. Ethan is dead. Ethan's like, I'm that bitch. I walked out with my stockings
My
and I don't believe.
That's
stockings
right.
Let me
because
tell
the
That's
you.
road
right.
mashed up my heel.
What shoe
If you
size are
didn't mash
you?
up your
What shoe size
heels
are
and
you?
a
My,
dance, it's
mine is 8.5.
really
8.5.
hey.
Yes.
You
It's
don't
an
even have big feet. And then why the people shine a light on your foot? Wait, let me check.
I really checking like what foot fetish is that? Like you know, like I was like, what? And I was like, I was literally in the moment. So I'm like, you know what? Let me give them a whole post about my toes.
Oh my god,
Like,
I'm dead. I'm
if you go on my
so
page
dead.
now, I have a whole post tag pinned to my page for my toes. 'Cause I'm
Of your
like,
toes?
okay, yes, because there's a foot fetish. I have background.
Give them what they want.
Wait, so your heels were your heels like
Ethan has
like
left the
closed
building.
heels or open toe heels? What heels?
It was up into heels, like cute little nice heels. It was like 4
He had
inches.
nice shoes on, and then the picture just
Yeah.
focused on
Yeah.
his
On my
toes peeking out of the under the dress.
So I was like, okay, the excitement is on my toes, the dress was
Gotta
messy.
give them
Okay,
the
let me just
one.
give them my toes.
I love it. 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 Unapologetic Ray Millie. Guys,
That's right.
Ethan, Ray Millie, thank you so very much for gracing us with your presence. I want to congratulate you again, Ethan, if I didn't, on your wins, at the
Oh,
Dominica's
thank you,
Next male model. So congratulations to you. And I
thank
also want to
you.
say congratulations to you, Remilly, for being your damn self, which is the most hated Cardi. The most hated Cardi.
Period.
The most
Thank you,
hated Cardi.
Cardi. And you guys, you can always let us know when you want to come back on. It was really lovely having you both
Mhm.
here with us. We really truly appreciate you.
I love
We
this
appreciate
episode.
me too. We appreciate
This is like one
all
of my
of you who
favorites.
came, all of you who came on and shared. And I hope you guys shared the live. Like, have you shared the live? All of you on the live, underneath there talking. Did you share it with somebody? Did you tag somebody? Thank you very much, my lovely co-host Stellina Blue Recoilia. Stellina is gonna give us that backdrop. Let me tell you. Look at her. Look at she give how, but how she have very
Hi.
very.
Hi.
She's giving. She's giving
Giving.
face.
Serving Luke.
Guys, thank you very much for being the two of the
You're
most
welcome, Jael.
wonderful
It was nice
co-hosts.
meeting you guys,
Thank
Recoli and
Thank you.
Selena. Hope to
Yes.
see you again
Same.
soon.
you.
Yes.
It was good.
You
Bye,
too. Bye,
guys.
Ethan.
Bye.
I have a
Bye.
question. You all
Uh-huh.
knew each other before coming on, Ray and Ethan?
If we
Well, yeah,
You know each other.
from because I used to stay Portsmouth, so yeah.
Okay. Okay.
are
All right.
That's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
wrap.
It's a wrap.
We're leaving.
I
That
thought we
hair
were ending.
good.
It's
That, you have to
okay.
dance.
I'm
my
like
brother.
waiting.
Let's
Okay, there we go.
see, man, dance. That's telling us something. Look, that'll dance. That's telling us.
Where did I go?
Bye, guys. See you guys next week.
See you next
bye.
week. Bye.